Negative numbers, what are they? Well, let's talk about them. So, my number line video, I talked about how we had a line of numbers, and say the middle is 0. So, over on the right side of 0, we'll have all positive numbers like 1, 2, etc. And on this side, we'll have -1, -2, negative numbers on the left hand side of 0. So, everything left of 0 is a negative number. And the more left we go, the smaller the number becomes. So -2 is actually smaller than a -1. And all negative numbers are smaller than 0 because everything that's closer to the left side, anything that's, more left than the other, it's going to be smaller and smaller. Okay. A few things to know is that when you're adding negative numbers, it's the same as doing this. It's the same as -5 minus 3. These two are the same thing. The minus sign doesn't really change anything because both the numbers are negative. And this would be -8. Let's be -8. So if you subtract from a negative number, you're going to get an even more negative number, a much smaller number. -8 is smaller than both of these, right? So whenever you're subtracting a negative number, we're going to get a bigger negative number. However, if we're adding positive numbers, right, then it'd be the same as it'd be same as 2 minus 5, basically. So we would do 2 minus 5, which is -3. And with the number line, you can do it the long way if you want. 4, 3, 2, boom, boom, boom. So we're starting at this number, and we're just going to go right. Whenever we're adding, we're moving to the right, okay? Whenever we're subtracting, we're going left. So it'd be 1, 2, right? And we end at -3. So that's why it's that. So that's another way you can look at addition and subtraction. Whenever you're adding, you're just going more to the right. And when you're subtracting, you're going more to the left on a number line. One thing to know is that when you multiply two negative numbers, let's say you're multiplying -5 times -5. The parentheses, when they're like this, that means multiplication. This would be 25. You would get a positive number. So whenever you multiply two negative numbers, again, if you do -3 times -8, you're going to get a positive number. So it'd be 3 times 8, which is 24. But they're both negative, so this becomes positive. However, if we did a negative number, -3 times a positive number, 8, we would get -24. So whenever you're multiplying a negative number by a positive number, you're going to get a negative number. When you're multiplying two negative numbers, you're going to get a positive number. Same thing for division. If we had +8 divided by -2, the answer would be -4. That's why most of the times when you have a negative number, either up or down, you would just write the negative symbol right there. You wouldn't do it up here or down here. You would just write it right here because it's going to be a negative number regardless. And again, if you divide two negative numbers, so that would be -8 and -8 divided by -8, we would get just 1. So when we divide two negative numbers by we would divide a negative number by a negative number, we're going to get a positive number. And when we divide a positive number by a negative number, or vice versa, we'll get a negative number. So that's a little bit about negative numbers.